we're live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the second Gateway podcast. I'm with my other co-host, Austin Grant Chandler, lead trombonist of Gateway Brass. And tonight we have our second special guest, Jay Andersen of Gateway Brass.
I am.
Tell us a little about yourself, Jay.
There's not a lot.
Just tell us something about yourself, man.
I'm from Oregon. I miss the green being down here in Phoenix. There's only like shades of brown, and so I get a lot of I miss the red, the yellow, the green that's not turf. That's about it.
All right. What brought you to Gateway? Because you're just a sophomore like me.
I saw this guy. He was talking about some second line stuff. I'm like, I remember that stuff. That stuff's fun. Let me do that. And I was like, this is serious? Whoa. Wait. Okay. I mean, there's not a lot more. It's just you looked at the charts. It's like, this is fun. Yeah. And then we had 2-day notice on. Was Gateway Day yesterday?
No, today.
Today.
Ladies and gentlemen, today is I call it International Gateway Day from now on, but a year ago today, we had our very first gig.
To clarify, this was recorded on October 12th.
Yeah.
So not when this comes out, but when we recorded this on the 12th,
October
it was
12th.
international. What we were doing international.
Yeah, that was a crazy day. Tell me about that day for you in your eyes when we were.
Well, I don't like playing on tenor saxophone. And how long was that? How long have we been playing Gateway up until that point?
So it's October.
October,
and we'd been
beginning mid-October.
We began. I'm gonna say Gateway's official rehearsals began in like September.
So we had like 5-6 songs under our belt.
Yeah, we had like 5-6 rehearsals.
And then, not 5-6 rehearsals. We probably had like 4 maybe of like solid work put in. And then leading up to it, I bet we threw in a couple, especially when we only had like 3 days notice. Like all 3 of those days were, let's work. That's actually I
think we found out the week of. I'm pretty sure.
We didn't find out week of. We found out like
it was like 3 days.
3 days. Remember, because
it was like 3 or 4 days.
Because nothing was booked. Nothing was booked for that time slot, and they needed someone.
And then Paul was just like, "Hey, can you guys play?"
Yeah, and then
and hell yeah, we can.
And hell yeah, and then we had the rehearsal the day before. We were outside, remember? And then we also recorded the infamous
the Moonlight Serenade.
Yeah, the infamous Moonlight Serenade tape.
That's for another podcast.
Yeah, that's another podcast.
We're not going to talk about. We're not going to talk about that now.
We're not going to do that now. We're going to focus on International Gateway Day.
Yeah.
So run down that day going through like your head, like.
I mean, I was nervous going into it. I don't play tenor, and dang it, I played tenor on that. That recording is on the YouTube channel, and you could hear that tenor, and I'm going, I sound a lot better on other saxophones, I'll say that. But going through that, leading up to it is exciting, and I wore a collared shirt. I wish I had more Gateway appropriate fit.
Any of you guys watching this on YouTube, I want to count in the comments of how many times Jay is going to complain about tenor.
There's gonna be at least like it might be off the hands, 10 plus.
Dude, yeah.
Counting fingers and toes on that one.
That day was I remember the whole breakdown of that day where it was literally like.
We didn't rehearse before though.
We did the day before. That was.
No, I mean day of.
Day of. We didn't run through anything. Right?
Yeah, we just but
we had stands and we had sheet music.
We had stands. We had sheet music. Yeah, and then
we didn't do bad for our first.
We did not do bad at all. Bad. We that was what it was. It was we were getting our foot in the door, and we kind of just kicked it down. That was the fun part about it, because it was like, we were the person that got that late invite. It was the "you up" text. I feel like we were the "you up" text. We got the "you up" text, and we pulled through, kicked the door down.
They asked for an encore, and the only other thing we had ready was Moonlight Serenade.
Moonlight Serenade, the most encore of encore songs.
After
now
Brooklyn,
reserved for.
Danza?
It's like a 7th inning stretch.
I think it was Danza.
It was like
Danza
after
was
Danza,
the
they were training for an encore, and the only other thing we had was Moonlight Serenade. So we followed up Danza with Moonlight.
That's like, it's like That's the break song now. We never. That's not like a thing that we hold to high regard. It's so much a back pocket song at this point.
But it's old reliable.
Yeah.
Because
you bring out the case, you open her up. All right, Moonlight.
Well, also it's kind of like that song in general just has a lot of history with us, and just like when we have usually like when we had our first couple gigs where it's like, oh, you can play 2 songs. It's usually Moonlight and Funky or Stand By Me and Danza.
What did we play at Cactus 1.0?
We played
Moonlight and Funky. Oh no, and we came out for Danza.
Yeah.
Because
they were gonna yell at us for not doing it because there was like 2 minutes until quiet hours. They're like, oh, you guys can do it.
Oh yeah, you guys can do it. Yeah, they were telling us because we got an encore in the middle of the Cactus gig, and they were like, no, we have time. We don't have time. And then
we did it anyway. No.
And then Homegirl got an encore. Remember that?
Oh,
yeah.
Because all her friends were there.
All her friends were there, and then we came out
and said
2 minutes.
I was about to just
5-minute song, 2 minutes till quiet hours.
Yeah, we said.
Oh.
Yeah.
You can't be showing out.
I did it. I put my hand up. I put my hand up for that. Sorry, Mom. But yeah, that was the time. I do remember. And you had short hair then. You had short hair and you played tenor. And now you got the
long hair and I play alto.
And you and Austin just switch roles entirely. It's like you're now the scruff man and he's
I don't know where this is gonna go.
I kind of want to see the beard.
I want to see it. I don't have it. It's not.
You gotta shave a little bit
there.
more, but bro, I could see him having like a full-grown like Viking beard. It would be.
It would not. It would be nasty. It would be so flavor saver. If you want like a Thor, I gotta work on the Thor. You know what I'm saying?
Fair enough.
My uncle hasn't gotten a haircut or like shaved his beard since like March. And he really looks like a Viking now. He's also half Norwegian, so I think that helps.
I mean,
but
yeah, that'll put.
He looks like a Viking.
I'm like the melting pot of like Western Europe.
Nice.
Where I have like I have some Irish, I have some Swedish, just a tiny bit of Swedish, but mostly Norwegian.
You heard it here, folks. I want to see you look like a Viking, Mr.
No chance.
Mr. Lady Killer himself.
All right.
No comment.
No comments.
Well, the female's got a couple comments, but
dude, females be killing me, bro. I'm so done.
Amen to that one, brother. Amen to that one. All right, what other questions we got for this man?
All right, so if you could have one ability related to music that you do not currently possess, what would it be?
You know, that's a question. That's a would you rather question that I've asked a lot of people, and I've gotten a lot of different. Because I'm gonna twist your question a little bit. Where I've gone up to people, and so much depending on what they're passionate about, you get a bunch of different answers. You get the either or. And it's always been, would you rather be able to be a master of every instrument? Doesn't matter from what culture or anything, you're a master. Or would you rather be able to speak and write fluently in every language? And really depending, I've seen a lot of people who go like, well, I want to be able to speak in a lot of language because that will help me to talk to other people, understand culture. But then there's also that argument, it's like, oh, music is that universal language where it's like if you're a master of all of those instruments, you can go to any culture and everyone would be able to look at you and it's like, wow, and really appreciate this guy's good. This guy has chops or mallets or percussion hands. Catch these hands. All right.
What about you, Nate? I'll send that to you.
If I could pick one musical ability, like I don't currently have, I think it would be to sing. I wish I had vocals, because like, I'm gonna be real. I've been told if I had vocals, I'd be unstoppable. Like, I
think you would. That's
like
no cap.
Legitimate. Like, I think I would be like the ultimate. Like, cause I know I'm attractive. Shout out, mama. Always instilling that in my head. And
you and me both.
But there's that. There's like I'm already a really good musician, and like I wouldn't say I have perfect pitch, but I have relative pitch, and it takes me a second to hear something, and I can pretty much have it under my fingers, and that's gonna take time. Like you can develop that skill, but like singing is a much harder feat for me, I guess. And like to be like a solid like jazz singer or something, dude, just have give me a Marvin Gaye voice. Ooh. Ooh,
I did. I was a choir kid before. I guess because I went to a K-8 Christian school, and when you're in kindergarten, it's been such a hot minute. Shout out to Mrs. Brumley and Sally Coons. They're the real ones. They're the OGs. But like K through second, like kindergarten, first, second grade, we had like just essentially a variety show where you were forced to do this. Like you had to sing. Mm. And then third and fourth grade, you had something called the Patriotic Program, where you dressed up as various characters from, U.S. history or Oregonian history. I think U.S. history was third grade, Oregonian history, fourth grade. Mm-hmm. And I was John Smith. I remember I was John Smith because everyone called me Mr. Weirdbeard. Because we literally took we got a werewolf mask and we like cut it up and stitched it into like a beard that I could put over. Yeah, that was an interesting. And then you had to sing like 50 Nifty United States and stuff. Y'all know that.
I don't. I really don't.
Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado.
I'm gonna be real. My school never did any of that kind of stuff, to be honest. Because also I think I was in the period where in the 5th grade they saved history for the second semester at the school that I was going to, or for the third trimester. We had trimesters in elementary.
So wait, you didn't have history the whole year?
No, we still did, but it wasn't as focused on in the 5th grade, and that's when you learn about the states, and that's when you learn about the Revolutionary War. That's when you learn all about that. But when I was about to learn all of that, my mom moved to schools, and that school had already been knee-deep in all of that kind of stuff. So I was like...
So you don't know the first president of the United States is what you're trying to say.
Okay, are we talking AOC or are we talking actual United States? Because there's Articles of Confederation president, and then there's George Washington who's the first president.
Oh, I'm talking George Washington. Oh, yeah. I don't even know the AOC.
Yeah. I don't remember the AOC. We didn't learn that till 8th grade, and then it was reestablished in APUSH.
It is something. I remember learning something about Articles of Confederation.
Articles of Confederation sucked.
They did. That's why they had to not use them.
Yeah.
We are also audio only now. My camera died because I can't plan ahead.
Tragic. It's okay though. You get to listen to the welcome to Gateway Brass ASMR.
I'm not listening to the podcast. I'm going to listen to this podcast if you're doing that.
I'm just kidding. It was a joke. But okay. And ladies and gentlemen,
we are right between
a skate
park, a cornhole tournament, and a skate park. So location.
Dude,
it's a scene, but it's a vibe.
It is a vibe.
It's very hard to concentrate on hardly anything because there's so much happening.
There's a lot happening. So that's why we're just going to stick to audio for now. All right.
And for those of you who saw the first part of this video, Nate, why don't you tell us a little bit about your t-shirt?
Oh yeah! How could I forget?
15. Oh, the camera's off.
Yeah.
Is that $15?
Yeah, actually. So we finally got shirts. It's been a long and awaited talk for us to just actually get some merchandise or to get some form of something out for the fans, and we finally did. We talked about it over the summer about getting shirts. I put it on Instagram. And was talking about, oh yeah, let's get some shirts. Would you guys cop? And so we finally took the investment, and we now have them. We sell in majority of size. I think the only size we don't go to, but I think we still do, is XXX.
Do you have extra small?
We don't know. We go from small to double X. I think.
Do we have double X?
I think we have double X. Yeah, small to double X.
I thought we just had X.
No. Yeah, so we're going to small to double XL. But yeah, they're $15 a pop right now, and they're really nice. It has our logo on it, solid black, very comfy material. I have to say, it's there's a tier of Hanes shirts, but this is the tier of super soft. It's not that thick cotton where it's starchy. No, this is very nice. Didn't have to throw it in the wash to get a nice soft. No, it's really solid. So
sweet. Very
happy to have those shirts, and we hope that you invest in it. If you want to get one, what you got to do. So, go to our Venmo, Gateway-Brass, insert your email, and then give us a size, and then we will get you your shirt ASAP.
Who needs
And
sponsorships? So we'll just work our own. We'll work our own hustle on this.
Right, exactly.
We also need your name in there as well.
Well, usually when you have your Venmo, it has your name already.
Okay,
yeah. So that's usually why we don't. So it's
Yeah.
usually.
If your
I mean, it would help to send contact info to like an email or something like that.
Yeah. If we have
Yeah.
to. But.
And if this is later on and we happen to run out of shirts in your size, as soon as we get enough requests for like another batch, we will order more. So if you don't get them right now, you can still get them. It's just going to be a little more delayed.
And in the future as well, in the near future, in our next order, we're actually going to order stickers.
Yes.
There's going to be stickers along with the pricing for that is to vary, but yes, keep on the lookout. We're going to release some stickers, shirts, and if this is a super big hit, we're going to come out with more merch items, but that's for the future. So for now, just check out the Gateway shirts. I'm going to put a picture of them on our Instagram. We're going to do a whole photo shoot. Can't
Let
wait
us
for
know
you.
if you guys would prefer stickers with our logo or stickers with Sammy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you want to talk about Sammy, Jay?
No, because I don't know a lot about. I know Ken. Oh, was it Ken who drew or Ryan? Ryan drew Sammy, but Ken came up with the idea of Sammy.
I know, but you want to talk about what Sammy is?
Sammy's he's our mascot, if you want to say.
Yeah.
And he's a little rat. He's enjoying jazz, some Gateway music. He's living out of pocket. He's kind of out of pocket. He's a little bit in, a little bit out. You know, a little yin yang of life. You got to be a little bit in, a little bit out of pocket.
And he's shown his versatility as a musician. He's been seen playing a saxophone and a sousaphone.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, and the trumpet. Oh, yeah, he had a little trumpet.
He's got that power I was talking about where you
Right.
can play, you're a master
Dude,
of every instrument.
Sammy is the reason why we do this. And actually, a little bit more info on the name Sammy.
Why did you choose Sammy?
Because of Sam Palafian.
I wish I knew who that was.
I feel so... That is my grandfather, sir. I feel so... he's not my actual grandfather.
Oh, okay.
But I'll tell the story. I'll tell the story. So Sam Palafian, if you don't know, he's a big name in the music world. He is probably one of the most influential tuba players in the past 2 decades. And I taught at ASU, was in the School of Jazz. He's released multiple jazz albums. He's played with the Boston Brass. He's definitely a remarkable musician. But he was my instructor, Kevin Bach's tuba instructor when he was at ASU. And he had a very big impact on Kevin. And, you know, obviously Kevin has a super big impact on me. And I was going to meet Sam Palafian, and I remember back 2019, early on, Sam Palafian was diagnosed with cancer. Yeah, and I remember it was a really sad day where we were in a brass ensemble back when we used to have it. Because this is what really also helped me motivate to become a brass man, was being in brass ensemble, and Kevin, and the idea of Sam, because he was a very big jazz guy. And Kevin was talking to us, and he was talking about what Sam was to him, and then like talked about how music is supposed to be like where we go to escape. We leave all our baggage at the door and we come and sit and listen to music. And I remember Kevin said this to us at the end of rehearsal, and I think rehearsal ended at like 5. And I want to say less than 15 minutes later, I looked on the news and Sam Palafian had died. Like 15 minutes later. And so, yeah, it was really hard, like, knowing, like, that happened, and we lost such an influential person. And especially I knew it took a toll on Kevin, because Kevin was very, like, I don't see Kevin get emotional. And he was very, 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 very emotional and just kind of, like, down. And, well, after that, me and Augie were like, I wanted to pay homage to such a great guy. And for a long time, like, before our logo was living out of pocket, it was Yeah Man. That was the original. It was Yeah Man was our thing. And that's what Sam Palafian used to say all the time, and to Kevin, and Kevin adopted that. And so we paid homage to it. And so that's when we were coming up with the nickname for Sammy. We were like, well, long live the Palafian man himself. So we decided to nickname our mascot Sammy after him. So yeah, that's the whole history behind that.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you shared that.
Yeah. So here she is. Oh, okay. Anyways.
Anywho.
Y'all
Y'all seen any good movies lately?
Oh my God. I watched Django Unchained for the second time recently.
Was that your first time watching it with me? No,
It was like
could've
I've
been.
seen it, like I've seen bits, and I've never seen it all the way through.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I saw like bits, but I knew the general gist of it.
That's a good movie. I need to see more Tarantino. I need to see a lot more Tarantino.
Oh my gosh, Tarantino, bro! If you watch, okay, I'm gonna say this now, and do not take this personally, ladies and gentlemen. If you can relate to like Bruce in Pulp Fiction, or you think any of the main characters in Tarantino's movies are relatable, I have some serious. I think you need to seek some serious psychological.
It's the
help.
same. It's like people who look at the Joker.
The Joker,
who look
or
at Walter White.
Yes, American Psycho.
Yeah.
Anybody in a Fight Club. Hannibal Lecter.
Hannibal Lecter's I don't think anyone relates to Hannibal Lecter.
But like those
Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty, you have very self-destructive behaviors, and I just want to reach out and get you some help. Listen to some Gateway Brass, man. Like
Crescent City will cleanse your
Crescent
soul.
City will oh my god, bro.
I saw Princess and the Frog for the first time with you.
Yeah, he watched Princess and the Frog. He never seen that.
Disney Plus needs to work on their streaming service, dude.
It looped like 6 times.
It was literally like a record. It was like the exact same, like if you ever, like of course you know what a record looping is, but it was like the exact amount of time. It was literally like it was running on a record.
I
don't know what it was.
Dramatic reading. It was, don't you disrespect me, little man. Don't you disrespect me, little man. Don't you disrespect me, little man. Don't dare engage.
And it was a mess.
It was a mess.
Disney, please work on your stuff. Mandalorian's coming out. I do not need that.
Also, Gateway might have to do a chart from that. Because they had a lot of second line stuff in that movie.
What are you thinking? I can't name. I know Friends on the Other Side. I can't name.
When We're Human.
Can't. Not off the top of my head. Is that when they're floating down the?
Yeah, when they're going down.
All right, I know that one.
There's a what is it? Zypha? No. What's it? I don't know what the kind of genre
That's
is.
actually a good. Wait. What movies do you guys really look to when you think about like good songs? It's like I want to be able to play that on whatever, whenever.
Incredibles.
Hey,
that's an easy answer.
That's a real, but I mean, like, be real though. Like the
No,
first
yeah.
time that Gordon Good, like y'all want to talk mess about Gordon Goodwin half the time. I know Augie does not like Gordon Goodwin. If you don't know who that is,
I don't like Gordon Goodwin either.
Hey, there's
he's got some fun charts, but he's like a gimmick artist more than anything else in my opinion.
But he's respected for it because, like, go listen to The Incredibles. Like, The Incredibles, anybody can point that out to you. If you're like, as soon as you start playing, people know, oh, that's Incredibles. You should have seen 2 years ago in for Disney Night, we had The Incredibles.
Oh.
And as soon as we started, or as soon as you heard that, ba-da, his crowd went.
He wrote an
crazy.
arrangement for Pep Band, or just
No. Someone made an arrangement for it. But like that would be, dude, on trombone. It's so much fun.
Who wrote the guy who did The Incredibles? I forget his name off the top of my head. Like the guy who wrote the soundtrack. He also did he did a bunch of other Pixar stuff. Inside Out.
Randy Newman.
No, Randy Newman did like Toy Story,
Monsters Inc.
Monsters Inc. But he did the other guy. I'm so mad I forgot his name.
Danny Elfman.
No, Danny Elfman did like
Yeah.
Tim. That's the Tim Burton homie.
Yeah, but he also did more.
No,
than
I'm
just
looking
Tim.
it up.
Yeah, but like,
I'm looking
there's a
it
lot of good soundtracks. What other good soundtracks are there, just music wise? Like,
Michael something. No, it's not.
Michael Sweeney.
Here, I'm just.
But I'm trying to think what other like good soundtracks.
No, Michael Giacchino.
Oh, okay.
He did Inside Out, Ratatouille, and Ratatouille is a fire soundtrack.
Yeah, we don't give enough.
I cried a Life Festine.
Yeah, Le Festine is the ending scene, bro. When it plays at the end of the movie, bro.
I still cry whenever Ego drops his pen and like has the flashback.
Okay, conspiracy theory. The house that all the rats were living in the beginning was Ego's childhood house.
I saw that.
I
saw that. Yeah.
No,
it makes sense.
I believe it.
I mean, it makes sense. Like if you look at his flashback,
it looks like the house.
I'll have to
yeah,
watch.
you gotta rewatch
the movie
it.
again.
You gotta
use that amazing, great streaming service to watch it loop on Remy getting shotgunned at the beginning over and over again.
Hey man, she was just trying to. She was with that thing. She kept that thing on her, bro. But
get that MF thing in the Umbrella Rack.
Right, bro. She didn't play. But like
don't F around.
a non like jazz chart, like that's music, like musically good. Like the Harry Potter soundtrack.
Dude, okay. If it's the Harry Potter soundtrack, though, it's almost gotta be in the first two.
No, it
movies.
has to, because that's when John Williams was on it.
And then they like they got new composers like 4 more times throughout the rest of the 8 movies, and each new composer pretty much ignored everything the previous composer did.
Except the last movie.
Yeah, the last movie they brought stuff back.
You can't tell. The ending credit scene song makes me tear up every time. The da 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 da.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm sitting there and I'm like.
It's because it was developed so well by John Williams in the original movie, because it was originally played. So I'm really big into Harry Potter soundtrack.
Yeah. Austin would be quivering. The other Austin.
Right. What else? What other soundtrack is there? Back to the Future.
Oh, Back to the Future is a fire soundtrack.
Dude, yeah. Kevin and his wife told me that was actually the hardest song to like line up really well to everyone, and I was like, okay, all right.
That's something I need to like. I mean, I tried watching the Back to the Futures.
Yeah,
I watched them over the summer, and then I watched them over again during like when we had our quarantine at the beginning.
There's Back to the Future, E.T. E.T. probably has one of the most. Oh my god, dude! E.T. probably has one of the most debatably greatest film scores of all time.
Iconic.
I gotta concur.
That's literally, you can ask him. There's the Star Wars. I mean, Star Wars is good, but like I've never been a super big
it's like The Empire That Strikes Back has like a lot of the more like Imperial March didn't come into Empire.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, you got like main theme and like especially
the
dude. That's that's just a fun piece.
Yeah.
John Williams knows how to write a fun piece.
Yeah.
Well, all the Pirates of the Caribbean music too is
good.
Is that Hans Zimmer? That's not.
Yeah,
Hans. That's Hans Zimmer.
That's Hans. Yeah, he did. Oof.
I like that music as well.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh, like that's not movies, dude. Video games. Nintendo has always been on their grind. Dude, The Legend of Zelda, when they released what was it? Ocarina of Time, and they released the like when they evolved the main theme to like dude, like if you ever hear like a live symphony play that.
You ever hear? I'm guessing you've heard Super Mario Galaxy in the soundtracks. That was a leap and a risk taking that, because they never had like a huge orchestral soundtrack for any of their things before. I mean, think about Nintendo, 64. Think about 64 and Sunshine.
Yeah,
I've been replaying Sunshine lately when I have like just time, and that's so much of a, when you compare it to everything else that they're doing lately, they're really, if you look at it, they're in like a jazz phase right now. You think about Odyssey and what they're doing, and you heard the Mario Kart lick. It's a meme at this point, but literally, like so many of like Mario Kart 8's songs are
very
super jazzy, and I think they're like, I don't know if they're coming out of that phase or if they've just like.
I feel like Nintendo though has been more towards modernizing their music to appeal to younger crowds though, because like for example, you can go listen to the old Pokemon music, right? Mm-hmm. And then you listen to it now, like when I played, because there's like, it's a huge meme in the Generation 3 games where it's just trumpets. Like trumpets is a huge meme amongst like, oh my god, there's just too much trumpets and brass.
I've never been too much into Pokemon.
Okay, well, yeah, it was very brass heavy, like electronic brass, very electronic brass sounding. Mm-hmm. And then when they remade the game,
what was Gen 3? What games were those?
Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, Fire Red, Leaf Green.
All right, I've only played, the only Pokemon games I've ever played are Fire Red, Leaf Green. Yeah,
so it was in Ruby, Emerald. It was really Ruby, Emerald, Sapphire, but they remade it, right, in 2014, and it was all electric guitar. It was all rock. And then like you listen to some of the stuff now, it's like all battle based. It's very heavy metal, and so I think Nintendo is just shifting.
They're really jumping around. Yeah, I miss their orchestra, but they still throw in orchestral stuff. The great orchestral.
Yeah, and then there's like Final Fantasy, dude. Final Fantasy's always had phenomenal soundtracks, and just.
Speaking of game soundtracks, we need to take a moment to appreciate the Halo soundtrack.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think we're missing a big one here.
I know Hans Zimmer did Call of Duty.
He did Call of Duty.
Not
he did
Halo.
Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah, he did Modern Warfare, but he didn't do Halo.
I don't know
who did Halo, but like
commendations
it's kind of like a
to my man.
review at this point, playing that Halo theme on the tuba.
I play the lick like almost every time.
I'm trying to think of other great soundtracks off the top of my head.
A very new one that I don't think either of you guys know, Genshin Impact. You guys heard any of the music from that soundtrack? Oh, you guys need to go listen to that. They have a playlist on Spotify, but it's some
there's
good
a
stuff.
lot of, I feel like there's, and then like if we're not talking strictly like just instrumental, like what other like pieces of like art just have great like music, like great songs in on like.
Are we talking like full? Oh, we're talking movies or
yeah,
talking...
like movies, video, like it's great. Dude, I'd have to say Baby Driver.
I mean, yeah,
Ooh,
Baby
Baby
Driver is like
soundtrack.
the whole. Don't think when I say gimmick I mean a bad
No,
thing.
it's their get. It's that's the whole
that's the
gist
movie.
of it.
Yeah.
Is the soundtrack and making it work and how they lined up and how the actors had to literally just listen to the music so they can sequence every single move.
Honestly, the only reason I watched Baby Driver was for the soundtrack.
I have the vinyl in my room.
Yeah.
I do have the vinyl.
Oh, speaking of great soundtracks that we have vinyls for, have y'all ever heard of the perfect movie called Pee-wee's Big Adventure? It's a perfect movie. I highly recommend that all of you watch it on Hulu right now. If you have Hulu, if you don't, get a free trial and watch it on Hulu.
Get the Spotify student plan.
Is that still a thing?
I think so. Yeah.
$5 for Hulu, Showtime, and Spotify.
Wow.
Yeah. My deal came with Hulu, Spotify, and Amazon Prime.
Oh, dude, that's so much better.
Amazon Prime for $5.
Yeah, it was all in a bundle.
I would so much rather.
Amazon Prime is like $99 a month, isn't it?
I don't think it's that.
It's
much.
not.
Or a year.
It's
Maybe
a year.
$99 a year.
But yeah, I got that. But yeah, Pee-wee's Big Adventures. That's another Tim Burton, Danny Elfman thing.
Yeah, well, that was one of Tim Burton's. Yeah, it was
First-
Tim
it's
Burton's
his
first movie.
And it was, I think, that's when him and Danny Elfman started working together.
Yeah.
Danny Elfman, Nightmare Before Christmas.
I mean,
Like,
I haven't listened to Oingo Boingo.
Yeah.
I have not listened to any Oingo Boingo.
Okay, monthly Amazon Prime is $12.99, so $119 a year.
$119 a year.
You're pretty close.
Yeah.
okay.
I'm trying to think of other game soundtracks off the top of my head.
Soundtracks?
I mean, just any art soundtracks in general.
I don't know. There's just so much good music that's out there.
I've Whiplash. I bump that Caravan every once in a while. That Caravan is probably my favorite arrangement of that song.
Yeah.
Just even without like the insane 5-6 minute drum solo at the end.
No. So
you listen to that first like half of the song. That's an incredible arrangement.
Yeah, we played that my senior year at the Reno Jazz Festival.
Really?
Yeah, we played that. Dude, that piece is hard to line up because I think it goes to like 12/8 at one point. Or like there's a part where it's finishing up, or it's like how does it go? Because it's like it's a da 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 ba bum bum.
I know what you're talking. I know part you're talking about.
Imagine it's split up to the point where it's like between saxes, trumpets, trombones, and you're all playing like you're playing the everyone has a different like note, and like first, second, third, fourth all have different parts, and it's all split up between the trumpets, and you have to line all that up in an irregular, and then come back to the bum bum bum.
That doesn't take good players. That just takes a good band.
Yeah.
It really
You
does.
can't have like as much as you want to be like, oh well, I can just like, oh, if we had like a good
You either gotta have
player,
a really deep band, or you gotta have like a solid band. Either way, it's gotta be a good.
You have to you can't do it with just one good player. You need to have like a good band in order to run that. And it's tight, especially for the tempo. It's at. The tempo is insane, dude. Like you're literally in like I think it's like.
1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3
No, it's in cut time.
Oh, so 1 2 1 2.
Yeah, I think it's at like 100 is. No, it's like 1.
That's like 1. That's more than 1. That's like 144.
144 cut
Somewhere
time.
around that.
Yeah, you're in 144 in cut time. Like I remember running through it the first time. I'm like, where are we at, dude? Because it's like, and then the ending is so ridiculous, dude. Because like, so you get into like this build up where. So for me as a trombone, I played bass trombone. I had to go to like an A flat 2.
Oh.
Or no, it wasn't. No, it was it was an F1. An F1. I had to pull out a tuba mouthpiece and crank it.
Dude.
It was insane. Like yes, I had to pull out a tuba mouthpiece and just play a low F1. And then I think the trumpet goes up to something it's in squealing range.
Yeah.
And then there's the 10-minute drum solo. And then you have the last note.
Yeah.
But then also I have to go like the B flat 2 for that, and like so it's a pretty ridiculous chart. So I hope we get to play that again. It's actually really fun. It's just like so elaborate, and like you could play it good, but like to get it tight,
you need a good band.
There's always a second line arrangement.
I mean, we
have
that second line arrangement.
Comment down below if you want us to bring that back. I don't know if I want to bring it back.
I don't want to bring it back if you want.
Like I love it, but like I don't really care for it.
We never nailed it. That was the thing. I don't think we ever, because either we messed with the roadmap so much that none of us could really remember it too much, or it was just stuff not outside our skill level, but it was just it was like a back pocket piece that we never looked at. So it wasn't something that, like, we can look at like the Lucky Chops Danza Funky any day of the week, and we play that so often just because it's so fun.
Yeah.
But Caravan, it's not something that'll get you moving on your feet.
Yeah.
And it's one of those back pocket songs like at Cactus 2.0, where you play it when people are walking around getting food and you're in the background.
Yeah, that makes sense. I do.
So that's one of the I don't want to play it again unless we have like a guaranteed, like what you were saying, where we were gonna do the possible gig outside 35.
Yeah, another thing too is like even when we had we also had I don't think the full ensemble can really even play on that for it to sound tight. To be honest, it's supposed to be a very small sounding piece.
Well, I mean, as it is last year, I didn't even play on it, and it still was
very. Yeah, it's just a very hard. Like even when we had played it in jazz with like Andy, it was extremely hard to get it super tight.
Yeah.
And I think we had one trombone playing on it. Me, the trombone, drum, maybe 2 trumpets, or 3. We had 2 trumpets. No, we had 3 because we had 5. We had 5 trumpets back then. We had 3 trumpets, and I think 1 of each sax played. So it was Austin, Hunter, Ken. The only ones who played on it. But yeah, it was ridiculously hard to just get that's also one of the biggest challenges coming up this semester is getting everything tight, because to become pro musicians, as we've learned, we have to get tight on stuff. You've noticed that, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we've definitely gotten tighter. But yeah, you can't, there's that threshold that you got to reach where, yeah, you could be getting paid a gig, but there's that, even if you get paid a gig, people don't often go, oh, they're pros.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's that, I don't know if that's like a mindset that a lot of people have, but it's something that I've always thought of where it's like, yeah, you can see someone getting like playing Wonderwall on their acoustic guitar at a coffee shop. And yeah, by definition, they're a professional. They're getting paid $50 for a half-hour set, whatever it be. No one's going to think, oh, they're a pro. But right. Yeah, by definition, they're a pro.
Right.
But you got to make that distinction that you're good enough to be called a pro rather than you're out there having fun. Which, yeah, we're out there having fun. Every single performance we go out, we're having fun.
Yeah. Talk about our transition, like, especially for you as an individual, going in becoming a professional musician, because that's what we are. Whether we want to debate it or not, we are pro musicians now. We're no longer just a band. We're like transitioning.
Yeah, we're definitely
been paid for like 3 gigs.
3
now?
gigs.
3 gigs.
3 gigs.
Oh yeah, and they're all at the Grand.
At the Grand.
Shout out to Uncomfy Pillows.
Drop.
But what was your question? Transition?
Yeah, how's that transition been for you personally as a musician? Transition to becoming.
If you want me to be dead honest,
yeah,
I always want to be playing saxophone. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not saying like from the minute I wake up to the moment I go to bed, I'm like, man, I just wish I was playing my saxophone right now. It's like, no, I want to go to the grave a saxophone player. Mm-hmm. But I have other ambitions throughout my entire life. You actually are trying to go to your grave as a tuba player.
Yep.
I'm trying to go to my grave as a psychologist, you know, family man, whatever you want to be. I mean, I'm not saying you probably don't want to be a family man. I'm saying, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah. What happens after the next 2 years? You know, and that's a sad thought to think about.
What happens after 1 year? I'm gone next year.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm on track to graduate same time you are.
Yeah. I mean, I'm probably going to be in Arizona still, so maybe it will still probably be a thing. But I understand like what happens when there's an existential crisis of a podcast.
I
mean, I still think that you could be a pro musician because like there's a guy.
I'm not saying I won't be a pro. People gig around. I know a couple guys from my high school who gig around literally at least twice a month, and they're two of the most amazing musicians I've ever met in my entire life. A pianist and a drummer, and they're insane, and they gig together. They gig on their own stuff, and they're I don't think either of them. Maybe I'm not inside their head, so I can't make assumptions for them. But I don't think either of them are like, I'm gonna put 100% effort into this all day, every day. They're like, oh well, I'm trying to get a degree in this. I'm trying to pursue this in a career. There's so much of that luck factor where there are planets that have to align for stuff like this to happen.
Right.
And if planets don't align, at least you're having fun all the way there, and you're making a couple $100, couple $1,000.
Right.
I would say I'm kind of in the same.
That's what I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you that next. Like, how do you feel transitioning? Technically, you're also a pro musician, or lead trombonist in a pro band. Like,
yeah, I don't really know because in my mind, I don't like see myself as a professional musician, if that makes sense. I see myself as a college student studying computer science who happens to be in a brass band. Mm-hmm. And I honestly don't know if I'm ever going to like make that shift and consider myself, or consider like.
You are though.
Yeah,
you know,
you are though. That's the thing.
I'm not
like
saying you don't have a choice. I'm just saying
like that's the reality. And like I think the other thing too is like putting ourselves in like boxes and whatnot. It's like it's not like when you become a pro. It's like I feel like kind of the vibe I'm getting is like, no, since you're in this band now, you're going to have to be a pro musician for like the rest of your life, and that's what you're gonna be labeled as. But I feel like it's more of it's kind of just like another thing. Like I don't think it's like there's a difference. Like so for me, if I was to go audition for, let's say like the Basie band, or if I was to go audition for a professional symphony and I make those, that's a professional musician.
That is a profession. That is a career.
That's a career. That's totally different. But like if I, random cheering. But if you were to like have your own, like say you started like a Norwegian metal band or something, right?
That's a real thing.
I know, he loves it. Yeah, that's why I made that joke.
I listen to very little music in English. Most of the music I listen to is in other languages.
Right.
This kid.
Yeah. Anyways, but say you like did that in your spare time, but you're out, you're gigging, and like to a degree, like you take it somewhat serious. It's like you do it good enough to the point where it's like you're having fun and people respect your musicianship. Like that's how I feel you guys should view Gateway as you view yourselves as pro musicians. It's like this to me is it's just another thing. It's not like there's no pressure, no real like weight
I think
to it.
Kind of the thing with that is like for me anyways, the label of professional musician, because I even had a pretty deep talk with my old private lessons instructor in high school before I graduated about like what I wanted to do with music the rest of my life. And the more I thought about it, and through this conversation, I came to the realization where I thought I kind of wanted to do something with music, but the more I thought about it, I just kind of want to be an amateur trombone player for the rest of my life, and I'm okay with that.
Do you want to be an amateur? I mean, not like amateur, as in I think we have the same definition of amateur. I think we're just talking the same thing.
Yeah,
whereas like you're playing it. You're always going to be a trombone player.
I'm not necessarily like
pursuing
bad,
gigs,
or I'm not like really good or not pursuing gigs. I just want to I want to have fun with it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, back in my hometown, we had a trombone choir that met once a week, and it was a bunch of old dudes and me, pretty much.
Exactly.
And we would just
We
play
have
fun stuff, and we had a gig once a year.
We had a millennium band in my hometown where it's like, oh yeah, it's people who are, it like age ranges were kind of, they weren't all over the place, but they were more so on the more older side. It's like, yeah, that's the same thing. It's like, yeah, I want to be probably in a band, have this other social group I'm a part of that you can go have fun playing trombone, have fun playing tuba, have fun playing saxophone at.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
Yeah.
I'm kind of in the same boat.
For example, it's not that I don't want to play, but like this summer, throughout almost the entire summer, I think I only practiced my trombone twice. And I was okay with that. I didn't feel like I needed to go practice.
I think you did 2 more than I did. I'm not gonna lie.
I'll be real with you. After school got out and I started working like essentially full time, I didn't touch my horn.
Yeah.
I did not. I didn't have the energy to do it.
Well, it's
And, like,
stuff's going
the
on.
40-hour
like,
the 40-hour grind is real.
It's real.
Yeah,
But like,
I had a 40-hour job this summer too.
but I think
40 hours.
I think for me, even if I didn't want to be a professional musician, I feel like this ensemble in the title of being a pro musician, to me, it's not weight bearing. It's not make or break anymore. It's like, I feel like we've already established ourselves.
It's so far from make or break.
Yeah, and it's just, we're cleaning it up, and now this is fun for us now, and I just love to see where it takes us. And like, I can just relish and embrace the fact that I am a pro musician, and it's crazy. I think, especially with it being the anniversary of 1 year ago, when people literally are like, you guys aren't going to amount to anything.
Who said that?
There's a lot of people when we started, it was me and Augie, like, when we first started, people really were like, I'm not gonna name names, but there was people in Pep Band who were like, kind of like thought it was like a cute little thing, but they really did not have any sort of faith.
Right. And I think a few of them have become some of our big fans.
Yeah.
Haven't they?
I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure I know a couple of the people you're talking about.
I don't know if it's necessary. I don't know if we are, and I'm gonna say this now to any of our like fans and stuff. I'm not. I hold no grudges or anything, and it's not directed at you, but because there's a lot of the people that I know that said stuff like it wasn't going to amount to anything, no longer they don't either associate with us or they just disappeared off the face of the earth. In my opinion, for the people that I've experienced, I know there's some people. There's one person in particular, and we've already addressed the issue.
Should we talk about this, or should we kind of drop it?
No, I'm about to. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. No, it's not a sensitive topic, but I'm saying, they were just, and I don't think necessarily it was out of like spite either. They're like they wanted to see us fail. It's just like I don't think they just believed it was like, because it's very hard. Like, if we're being honest, looking around this college campus, like, how many people want to go sit out and listen to a brass band now?
Like,
right.
There's probably not a lot.
There's not. I wouldn't say everyone.
I'd say less than 50.
Right, and it's like a brass band, so we really would only appeal to, like, band kids essentially. That's what we thought. And like, so it was really hard to get off.
The majority of our audience, right?
Yeah, and
then
it was hard to get us off the ground because of that. That's why I think so many people were like, I don't think this is going to amount to anything. But like that gig.
Well, that's the thing about being in Phoenix. There ain't a scene. There ain't a brass band scene here, like there is in like
NOLA, LA, anywhere in the South, any big jazz place, any performance.
West Coast has been really untouched in terms. I mean, if you don't count like LA, but it's really been West Coast, Western United States hasn't really been touched by a brass scene.
And that's we bring that, and I really like that we brought that to. But it's like I also didn't see, because our traction was hard to gain, because like even take a look at Cab, for example. They didn't even watch our video because they didn't even know they were like very skeptical. And as Khakis, you could tell, when we even did our performances at Cactus and whatnot, it was very hard to get people into what we were doing. And people would much rather listen to someone sing a cover song on an acoustic guitar.
Do you want to talk about how am I going to relate this? Because I have a point here.
Okay.
It's forming.
Okay.
I started talking before it was all the way there. But we were talking about how it's so hard to, like, especially on a college campus, how many people want to listen to a brass band.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about Palo Verde,
Yeah.
and think about how that kind of ties together, how it's like, oh, how many of those people that, because we didn't have a lot of people, compared to our first Cactus gig, we didn't have a lot of friend support at that Palo gig.
We had 2 or 3.
Yeah, we had two or three people.
Yeah.
So who's excited when a bunch of people walk on with instruments that they associate with, like, with just, oh, these are the guys who played in the stands at high school.
Yeah.
Or who play at the
and then
basketball
in addition
game.
to that, it was also, most of the people who were there for piano with someone singing.
Yeah.
And that, like.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of difficult in my opinion, like, to just emerge a band that's, because I want to say, like, the groups that are, like, predominantly, like, instrumental, brass, or jazz, if they weren't really established in, like, the 60s, 70s, or earlier, it's very hard for non-musicians to know who they are. Like, for example, I think you would be lucky to run into someone and be like, oh yeah, do you know Tower of Power? And Tower of Power is probably one of the premier bands, and it's like, you'd be kind of like hit or miss with that one, right?
Yeah.
But like Youngblood, I doubt no one would know who that is. Or Lucky Chops is like, they know who they are but don't know the name. And so
they're like, oh, those are the guys who play in the subway.
In the subway, yeah. That's what they associate us with. And like the other hard thing too is like what you were talking about, how like, oh, these are good people who play in the stands. Like, we have to break that stigma, and like I think there's such a stigma around instrumental music that in jazz, that it's like either you have to have like an acquired taste, or you have to be uptight about, like, people see us as like uptight or nerdy or not, like,
no, we're there to have fun,
right? Yeah, but like that's the thing. It's like we have fun. We love playing like our music. We want to get the crowd involved. It's like we're not sitting here trying to have like a cool classical thing, but I think people kind of just already have like their mind made up about us before we even step on. They're like, oh great, we're gonna hear some jazz that we have no idea. Or
I think part of that's due to, if you talk to most people, probably about half to, I'd say maybe 70% of them, at some point in their lives played an instrument.
Yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, I played violin for a year in middle school, or oh yeah, I played trumpet for a year in
piano.
high school.
That was the
Played
first
piano
instrument
for
I
2
ever
years,
touched.
and
I played piano in first
Probably
grade.
played
all they
trumpet
have
in
is
the-
that like very short experience before they were. I'm not like saying that all beginners are bad. Some of them have natural talent, but before they were had the chance to be in a group full of like really talented musicians, because I think everyone in Gateway is super talented.
Oh, totally.
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
So they don't really associate any of that because they didn't have that experience when they did music themselves.
Right.
So I think part of that is due to like the school system, or however. I don't want to just like blame the school system, but
I mean, we can, because it's super underfunded, and especially in regards to arts and stuff.
Yeah.
But I think that definitely has to play a part. It's just their experience is like, we play hot cross buns, I can barely get a note out kind of thing. And it's like, when they look at us, it's like, it's kind of like developed, and like they have like this idea also, like some people have the idea that we are very, like I was saying earlier, like very uptight and very like nerdy, like we can't, like we're not like, no, like we don't have like normal like taste in music. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but like it's the stereotypical, like people make fun of the stereotypical.
Esoteric would be a word.
Yeah. The stereotypical band kid. Like they're like, oh, they're meme kids who use dead memes, and they're very crusty and like
they're crusty.
Right, yeah, and they're like the band kids
That's
were the
like
weird
my
kids
moist.
who would be up at,
You know, like people don't like the word moist. Krusty's my moist.
But like it's but people like have this built up idea like, oh, these guys are just very weird, and I don't like they associate that kind of stuff. And it's like, with our whole out of pocket mentality, it's like we have to, like, we break that.
The gateway brass. Yeah.
Gateway, yeah. Like I feel like we had to break that. That's why I like,
we're the gateway to brass.
you got it. But like that's the thing. That's why like part of the reason I'm like we can't dress like a jazz band.
Don't
like,
show up
in a tux.
In a tux with a bow tie.
Right. Because how is the crowd going to relate to that? This isn't a formal, like, imagine, like, we go to a venue and everyone is, like, casual. It's like a bar or something. Let's say we're at a bar and people are, like, oh, showing up in, like, their maybe, like, a nice shirt, and some jeans, some shoes. Maybe girls coming out in a dress or something.
Yeah.
Like, think about some of the people who showed up at our last gig who were in, like, nice clothes and stuff, right? They were, like,
some of the
date
people
night.
who were there were nicer clothes than us.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I had my Atari t-shirt on.
Right. But, like, imagine if we showed up to a venue where people maybe are in t-shirt jeans and we show up in, like, full-out tuxes and stuff. I almost swore on there. You got me. I know that camera did, but you almost got me. But, like, imagine, like, I remember me and Augie were talking about how we were going to get, like, all white suits with, like, purple vests. And I'm like, that would be so corny. And people would just be so, like, how can I relate to
That
this?
would be, that would create even more of a wall.
Right.
Because I don't know if we're stale on it right now, but our crowd interaction could use some game a little bit.
I think also that was because it was a very last minute gig.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, for example, Carl, Drew, Emma, Reese, who else? I had to be, like, one more.
Nate was after that, right?
Who?
Nate was
after
Terry
that.
was after the grand.
But, like, they played on a good chunk of songs. And I think also we were trying to shake off the rust at the same time.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. We need, where our game is a bit down.
Yeah, we got to amp that back up. But I feel like, say we were all in the tuxes and stuff, we would not appeal to no one.
Exactly.
I feel like out of, like, the way we dress, like, okay.
I feel like part of that, or kind of going off of that, with like the pep band wearing purple and white striped bibs,
right,
makes us a meme.
Yeah, no, that
something...
is. I will kind of say with confidence that sometimes I walk a little bit faster when I have to walk from the apartment to the CAC in those bibs.
Dude, even when we wear, like, the polo and shorts, I don't like wearing that uniform.
I prefer wearing the bibs over the polo and shorts.
Yeah,
honestly.
and, like, especially with the short socks.
Oh, I hate the short socks so much.
Like, I would much rather, if we were to wear, like, the Havoc socks with that, way better uniform. 100 times better. And then, like, I think my favorite jersey uniform to wear
pants with short socks do not work, in my opinion.
No.
I
think long socks are always the move.
When you have pants on, yeah. Or
even
just
when shorts.
Ever?
I think so. Like,
I wear short.
It just depends. Like, with a
socks.
polo. If you have a polo on, long socks.
Yeah.
No short socks. But, like, my favorite uniform to wear was the women's basketball. Got a jersey, shorts, long socks, shoes. Like, that was the most comfortable for me personally, just because it didn't feel like really out of place. It felt very comfortable. But I feel like with our Gateway uniform, I feel like that gives kind of people, like, one, it feeds into the whole brass band mentality, like, of, like, really unorthodox. Just anything, like, really unorthodox. Two, it gives a chance for us to be comfortable and express ourselves how we want to. Like, you can express yourself however you want. You wore your Atari shirt. You've shown up in just t-shirt, beanie, shorts, and played. Like, I can wear some crazy stuff.
You don't have to wear anything.
You don't have to wear anything on stage. And that gets the crowd interested in that kind of stuff. But, like, I feel like we had to add that to ourselves. We had to add that.
Yeah.
Because, like, I don't think us having a uniform would have made uniforms or tuxes, like, that would have literally closed the crowd. And, like,
uniformity, I mean, there's its place.
Yeah. That's not
place,
here.
Yeah.
In a pro band, it's really not the place. Unless we had, like,
a gig somewhere where you're, like, the chances of this happening are astronomical. But, like, oh, you called for a wedding? Yeah, you're gonna throw on a tux.
Yeah, that's
you're gonna throw on a
like
suit.
Like when we had the Cactus gig, this Cactus 2.0.
Yeah, Cactus 2.0. You throw on your black shirt,
black pants, nice tie. That was our nice tie night. But, like, where was I going with this? Like, I feel like, let's go back to the Palo Verde 1.0.
Yeah.
That gig was
We'd never had another Palo Verde. We just call it Palo Verde.
Yeah.
We don't need a 1.0, 2.0, or nothing.
I don't know if I'll ever want to perform. Like, I don't think I realized how badly shaken as a musician I was until that performance. That was the coldest a crowd has ever been in any situation where I played.
Oh, totally.
Any situation. That was almost, and it wasn't, I don't think, our fault. It was very embarrassing to be on stage. It was
so, like, that was, like, the point where, that was, like, the lowest moment, I think, for a lot of us.
The only reason I wasn't affected like as much is because they had those lights in front of the stage that
You
were
couldn't
like
see.
Oh yeah,
blinding
you
us.
couldn't
So I
see
literally couldn't see anyone, and I never went off stage like you and Austin did. So then, after the gig, you guys were like, "That was the coldest crowd." I was like, "Oh, I
couldn't
didn't
tell.
notice."
Well,
I mean, I noticed that there was like very minimal applause and like cheering.
Yeah.
Like when we played Danza for Cactus, like
Cactus,
was
everybody was
not
up
that
and everybody was going to have.
experience.
Everybody was having a good time. But like when we played, literally, like when we played Brooklyn, and that's the one where I don't even know if I took my. I'm pretty sure I took my. I don't even know if I took my shirt off for that.
You didn't take your shirt off for Brooklyn.
Because I was like
You
so.
still, I think you had it opened.
Yeah, it was so like, but it's like I didn't feel like welcomed by the crowd. But like,
No.
for those of you who don't know, like when Brooklyn comes, usually some way somehow, me and Austin are gonna get off the stage and go crazy, some way somehow. And well, when we did that, we jumped off the stage. Usually people are like, "Hey," like people are like, "Oh my God, they jumped off stage! I have no idea what's going on."
We had that was all an experiment through not Welcome Weekend, Parent Weekend.
Year
We
ago.
did it, and then
Year
year ago today, an International Gateway Day.
Yeah,
But
and people love that.
when people saw that, they went nuts, and so you're like, oh, we're gonna do that every time now.
Yeah, we're gonna do that every time.
And then when you do that, and there's
like, I'm
dead
not
silence.
kidding. Like, people were just like looking at us like, "What are you guys doing?" And like, that rattled me to my core because I'm like, did I do something wrong? What is not clicking? And it's like,
I think the only reason half of that crowd didn't leave because they thought it would be rude to leave. I honestly think if there was not like the social convention of like we shouldn't leave during the middle of a song, like half of that crowd would have left.
well,
just
we weren't the last people.
no.
So they were probably staying for their friends.
Yeah.
People were probably staying only for their friends, and like that just showed to us like we had to find a way to build a better following because we even played stuff that people know, and like we've had better success since then. We've also found better ways to just interact with the crowd and be with that. But like as a brass band, that's the whole stigma. It was like literally we only had 2 people, like 2-3 people who knew who we were, like at the event, and.
Should bring the coffee first.
Right. Like, I still, like, just thinking about it right now, I'm, like, very rattled.
Oh yeah, no.
And it was, like, almost defeating after it.
Oh,
we
totally.
all just stood there and were like, what the hell just happened?
We got, like, the 3-second applause, and then it was
We didn't
dead
get an
silence.
applause.
No,
when
we didn't
finished.
get an applause.
They didn't?
No. No
I
one
totally
clapped.
don't remember that.
No one
Traumatic
clapped.
experience.
Dude,
Actually,
it was literally just, like, I stood there and was just, I didn't know what to do. I literally froze.
Yeah.
When they didn't applaud. Like, I was like, you
done.
usually just even applaud even if you didn't like them, but they straight up just...
You applaud at your 4th grade beginning band, you know? You're not...
Yeah.
The 4th grade beginning band sounds... I mean, I assume we sounded better than a 4th grade beginning band.
yeah. But
So, I don't know what their deal was. They just, again, is that I think there was a bit of a stigma.
it's the stigma, so it's very hard for us to, like, grip a crowd, but I feel like we've done a better job of being able to grab attention now.
Oh, yeah.
Between, like, I think that's also when we started getting into allowing ourselves to be ourselves on stage.
Yeah.
Like, not trying to force stuff and just be more like, this is what we need to be as a group. Like, you started to come out of your shell more. You started doing your thing in your own way. You didn't do what me and Austin do. You did it your way, and I feel like that appealed to certain people. And then I think we just also had to come out and be more confident with our music. It's like, you know what? You know, everybody might not be on board with this, and like, not everyone's gonna like our music. That's just with any kind of music, EDM. But like, we had to find our own. Like, we had to just think, all right, we're gonna play for the 5 people in the crowd that want us, and if other people want to clap and want to like enjoy the music, we'll do it. And like, we saw that result at the Grand, the second time especially, when we played the first
We were
Friday.
pulling people off the street.
We pulled people off. We had people who had never heard of like brass band music, and they're like, "Dude."
I would say even this like 2 weeks ago or Was it 2 weeks ago? Yeah.
It was 2 weeks ago.
When we went to the Grand for the third time, I think we pulled more people from just walking past the street then than any other previous performance.
No, was that last Friday?
No.
Really?
No, because last Friday we were in Flagstaff.
No, the Friday before.
It was a Friday, 2 weeks ago.
All right.
That was 2 weeks ago. Yeah. But yeah, you're right. You're right, though. Like, I think we've done a way better job. And that's just because we keep the energy going and, like, we don't let anything, like, deter us now.
Yeah.
Like, we have to know, like, there will be good gigs
And
there will be bad gigs. And you could play the best you ever did and get what happened at Palo, or you could play the worst you ever did and get an uproar, absolute uproar. Because I'm going to be real.
It's more about crowd involvement than it is the music.
Right.
Well, I mean, the music has to be good, obviously,
yeah.
but
Y'all can't.
if the crowd's feeling it, it doesn't matter if you're having an off day.
Right. Like take any of the basketball games, for example. We had some pretty, like, I'm going to be real, so that was probably some of my worst playing.
Just in, like, last year? Or
yeah, during the basketball games. Because it was after you start, what call time was, 4:30?
Something like that. The game starts like 7.
Yeah, call time was like 4:30 for food, 5 o'clock at the, 5 o'clock, 5:20 at the CAC.
6 o'clock we're marching.
6 o'clock we're
7
marching.
o'clock we're
It's
in.
game time.
7 o'clock game time.
Play for 2 hours.
Yeah, or like play in between. But you also had to realize, like, that was also when Marco had just left. And I was carrying the whole section and, like, literally was, like, in Crazy Train.
I mean, yeah, you run.
Yeah.
Like, that's no easy thing on my lips. We played Crazy Train, like, 3 times a game at least. And, like, then it's like, okay, play Fight Song 20 times. And then we would go out in the arena and my chops are done. Like, done after some of those games. And we're just like, all right, guys, time to play. But we had literally some dude grab a cup from someone else and put it down, and people started putting tips in. We would get the whole arc going, and we would just play, like...
I remember that. What we made, $53, something like that?
Yeah, we made $53 one night.
On a thing that we should not have made money off of.
Yeah. And we donated it.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know where that money went. Went to Make-A-Wish.
Imagine your Make-A-Wish, like, wish is to have Gateway Brass. What a sad Make-A-Wish.
I would kind of, if someone was
like,
to come up to us and be like, yo, we want you to play for, like, this kid really good Dunkin' Donuts. That wasn't, I don't think she had no idea. She didn't ask for that. I'm saying, though, if a Make-A-Wish kid, like, was like, hey, I want you guys, like, I would be honored, but at the same time, I'm like, you can have anyone in the world and you choose us? Like,
you don't choose.
Are you sure you don't want Spider-Man? Like, are you sure
you don't want Tom Holland in there? You don't
right.
You don't want to.
Hey, but I'll do anything for the kids, though. We love kids. Like, playing for the kids.
Oh, no. I'm just.
Like an elementary school gig.
Oh, elementary gig was fun.
I wasn't there.
Oh, yeah.
We had Duncan afterwards. What a foreshadowing.
Yeah. That was so we had to, you weren't there for that, but I remember he got there in the morning. We had to tell Jacob to be quiet because this man, no, when we got in there, in the cafeteria was very echoey. Very.
I don't remember. Was he dropping bombs?
Yeah. He was just
running his mouth.
He was in the Navy. He was definitely in the Navy, dude.
Sailor mouth.
Bro, it was bad, like, to the point where they could hear it in the hallways, and we had to be like, dude, please be quiet. They can hear every single thing. And I remember setting up and I remember...
I wish you put the kids to sleep and then woke them back up.
That was so funny, bro. But, like, so, for the little kids, bro, like at first they were like, there's one kid there's some cuties in the little crowd, like, little kids who just, like, say, like, very, like, oh, that instrument, like, or like they make the comments.
What do they call a trumpet? They call Austin's saxophone, sax a trumpet.
Yeah, they called it a trumpet, and they were just kids. Like, it was really sweet. And I remember, we played a couple songs. We talked about the history of jazz and whatnot.
Yeah, we played Caravan. We played Moonlight.
We played Crescent City.
Oh, we did. And then we
Crescent City.
played
Funky Town.
Funky Town in Brooklyn.
And I remember with Brooklyn, dude. So
Blew the kids' ears off.
Ken was going in the crowd and like running around and stuff, right? And then when it came to that point, me and Austin couldn't jump. We still ran around the room, but like if I had jumped, a 4-year-old was going into the ER that day, bro. I was about to curb stomp a kid. But we ran around, and these kids, bro, there's one kid on the aisle who was like shook out of his mind, dude. Like he was terrified of us. And we get up there and we finish. All these kids are going crazy and they're like, okay, so, and Ken goes, okay, so who wants to join band now? And all the little kids just shot their hands up, and it was probably one of the best experiences, like when it comes to audience. Your audience, that's the cool thing. When they're little kids, they don't even know what is good. Like your mind is so easily moldable to figure out what music is. Especially playing for younger crowds, they love to hear it. Little kids love to hear us. Old people love to hear us. We just got to get the teenagers on the hype.
Like them darn teenagers.
And darn teenagers. Let's just start playing trap music.
One of my favorite memes is Jay saying in chat, so the real question is, when is Gateway going to
be a
become
ska band? And you got banned.
I got banned.
Banned.
Why can't we play some ska music, man?
Ladies and gentlemen, actually, there has been talks about uncomfy pillows and Gateway merge. Stay tuned for that.
Just want to play some real big
ska,
fish.
Some real big fish. Some No Doubt.
No Doubt.
Sorry,
we played.
I'm not home right now. Yeah, we played one No Doubt song. We got a No Doubt song.
Sorry, Augie, we were already a ska band and you didn't even know it.
You guys listen to any Ruskaja?
No, not in a minute. Not since we had the Discord earlier in the year.
Dude, that stuff hits different.
But it's not. Is it ska though?
I think technically, it's a lot of brass.
European ska.
Singing.
European ska.
I mean, he sings in Russian.
But no, I mean, ska music's like reggae-ish.
Ska came before reggae, didn't it? Yeah, ska came before reggae.
I'm not gonna argue with you because you probably know more about it than I do. But no, we're actually gonna amp up we got some new charts on the way.
Oh, I have not touched that chart. I've been working on it so long. I need to go back onto that.
Oh, I haven't started some of the charts that I said I was gonna do. But like, dude, you guys aren't ready for the music that we got coming up. Ken outdid himself, dude. And not only that,
I'm not gonna say any names, but the one that starts with H that has the vocal solo.
Yeah.
Oh, man,
that one's gonna be good.
We got a Hazel Martin feature coming up real soon, and let me say, wow,
she's got pipes.
Mm-hmm. Is she going? You guys that's the beautiful thing about having multiple singers. We got Nick, and Nick is definitely a spoonful of gumbo to the soul. With a side of stank juice for sure.
Stank juice.
But yes. Hazel, bro.
No, Hazel's got pipes. Hazel got pipes for days.
Hazel is literally like, I want to say it's like a red velvet cake with that icing on it, bro. That just like you had like a nice meal, and it just like every time you take a bite, it gets better. It's just like,
I know what you mean.
It's like, yo,
you got that dessert stomach,
right?
Like that separate compartment where you can be full,
but
there's always that dessert,
and it just surprises you. And you like, you know, when you go to the restaurant, it's like I've had this 45 times, but it tastes the same. It tastes better every time.
What a weird analogy!
Like it's a very weird analogy. I don't know how we got into food, but like that's the analogy. And then the other song we have with Reese.
Dude, Reese came out of. I'm not afraid to say it. Reese came out of nowhere and then just stole Gateway.
He really did. Makes me kind of feel bad for Chelsea.
And Augie, bro, we had a conversation about that today, but like, dude, Reese
is insane.
Reese, bro. That
has the power.
He got it.
He is the power. He is the power stone.
Yeah.
He plugs that right into the trumpet.
That like little bit of advice on that solo.
Oh
my god.
Yeah, Reese is about to feature on every single thing.
Yeah.
On like everything, he's gonna have like 5 solos, and like, God, bro, like you guys are in for a treat. We got new promos dropping. We're gonna have a promo drop in the next couple weeks, next 2 weeks. I can't wait for that. What else do we have upcoming? Not much.
Not a
We
lot.
don't have
I think
a
we're
lot.
just. I think we're.
We're vibing at this point.
I think we're. Are we good to wrap it up?
Yeah, I think we're getting towards the end. How long have we been on here?
About an
Hour and 15.
Dude, yeah, we went way longer this time. I think we just had more to talk. We had more existential moments.
Yeah.
in
We had
one.
more. What it means to be a musician.
Right.
That was like the
That
takeaway.
should be the title for this podcast.
What it means
to be a musician.
No. Just
Yeah.
keep it the same.
Wait, do you
every
have
time.
you have the question, the quote?
Yeah. I don't have like a guest who said it. I just have another Coulter quote.
Another
A Coulter
Coulter quote.
Every week I'm gonna have a new Coulter quote for y'all.
I have a joke. Oh my god.
This week, guess what I bought at the Oriental shop? Fish. Goldfish.
You can't say that.
I'm done. I'm gonna make a smoothie and go to bed.
Oh my God! Hold up.
I'm gonna put some melatonin in the smoothie.
Oh,
Watch me.
I love Coulter.
I love Coulter too.
Well,
Oh.
he actually went to an Oriental shop with one of his friends.
Yeah, is it called Oriental Shop?
I don't know what it was called.
Because I'm kind of concerned,
Yeah.
but I mean,
Oh,
I
I
think
I wasn't
I think
there.
no, it's I know it was innocent. I know
Yeah.
it was innocent. I just got fish, goldfish. Like so, he has a live goldfish now.
No.
He got
The-
gold
the
crackers?
He
crackers-
got
the
gold.
He got
He
goldfish
got
crackers.
goldfish crackers.
So you went there and got goldfish crackers out of everything.
Just go to the
That's-
Circle K.
Go to
that's-
go to
that's
go to the
what-
lobe shop. Go to Herd.
No,
Stop.
it's too expensive there. It's like
Okay, go to Walmart. It's
Yeah.
right there, bro. Like you can get goldfish everywhere. And you said, "I got fish."
goldfish.
Like, come on, man. And then, what's something like? I feel like there's something else like we're missing. Was there any iconic moments from Sunday's rehearsal, quote wise?
No, not a lot.
Take 5, take 4.
Ooh, what an iconic moment.
Right. I don't know. It'd be boring in rehearsal now.
Yeah, yeah.
You want to talk about the time? Okay, but while we wrap this up, I'm going to tell you a quick story about how I scared the hell out of the gateway
Oh my
brass.
gosh. I mean,
oh, that legit scared
Oh,
me
we
so
were,
bad.
he was telling Austin, Ken, and I, because we were all in the apartment after, was it after the gig or just like a day, like a Saturday or something?
It was Saturday.
Oh yeah, because was he for the fight?
Mhm.
So,
Oh, I passed the pen pulled him.
so you tell it.
One
You're the one
second.
who did
I'm
it.
chewing some ice real quick. Brought to you by Ice. Ice. Liquid or frozen water.
Liquid
water.
Ice, liquid water.
But yeah. I was like, well, we did an amazing job. And I think this is what the inspiration is. Ken sent a text in the Gateway chat saying, Nate's probably going to text you guys later talking about how amazing you guys did. And I'm like, yeah, I probably will. And just later, I forgot. And I'm like, how about I make something out of this now? Because they're probably expecting that. They're expecting me to say something. I'm like, so I told Austin and Jay, I'm like, I'm going to scare them. I'm going to whiplash this real quick. And so I went in.
J.K. Simmons, this hoe.
Yeah, it was J.K. Simmons up in here. And I told Nick, Emma, Austin, Jay, and Ken. Because Ken wasn't there yet. And I didn't want Ken to come in and just be like, what is going on? Because he probably would have been like, dude, what are you doing? Why are you... And so he didn't show up
He's
yet.
the dad.
And Austin was in on this pretty big time. And you two went and sat down and were just quiet. And Austin's like, yeah, he's just been PO'd very lately. And I waited because I knew you guys were going to take a minute to set up. So I wanted to have another reason to be pissed at you guys. So I was
Like
super
10 minutes
cold.
late, too.
It was 1:10 when I did
it was like
this.
1:10.
I counted the time. And I was going to wait for all of you just to be sitting around and talking. And I wish I had a black chair.
Yeah.
This didn't go on the... Yeah, so I remember I had this planned out in my head perfectly, and it worked. Because I walked in, and everybody was talking, still setting up, doing their thing. And I was waiting till, you guys noticed I was there. But I'm like, no, I'm not going to wait. So I picked up a chair, and I threw it across the room. That shit went flying. Excuse my mouth. It went flying.
It skipped like
skipped.
a rock. Yeah.
It skipped. It thud. You hear a thud. It skipped and it slammed into the cart. And Coulter goes, "What just happened?" And ran over and picked up the chair.
Oh yeah, he's like
he didn't read the room very.
he's like a bellhop.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
But And I still think some people didn't notice. I think it was like Chelsea didn't
You
notice.
threw the chair, and I was like, that was odd. And then I just kind of like went back to
Everyone was like, that was odd. And like that's when I was like, I thought that would have, because if I had a black chair, the black chairs, you guys would have heard it, because I feel like the purple one was like it bounced.
Yeah, bounced.
That's what it. Like okay, but then right after that, my mouth went very, very. It was disgusting. I really went, what the
heck happened?
No, I said, what the F is wrong with you
know.
guys? And you should have seen the room. It went dead silent. And people's, like...
I was just trying not to laugh.
People's hearts were like... I could hear the hearts stop immediately as soon as I said, what the F is wrong with you guys? And I was kind of, like, laughing at this point. Because I was like, oh, y'all think this is funny. And I remember Chelsea went white. Hazel was very confused. And Carl thought it was a joke. And I'm like, oh, so y'all think this is funny? I said, what the hell was that? You guys are 10 minutes late. We're not set up. And then I said, and just your guys' attitude and your performance, and what did I do wrong?
And Coulter just went, what went wrong? Something like that.
Yeah, Coulter was very like, but what did I, and I was really just like, what, like, your performance was horrible. Like, why did you embarrass me like that? And I made it very just, like, you guys ruined my reputation. I'm like, you guys ruined my reputation. And I was going in, and Carl's laugh started getting real quiet. It went from like, oh, he's joking, right?
To,
oh, he's joking, right? And I kept going, and I kept it up for a little bit longer.
There's probably like a solid 90 seconds.
Yeah, it was like, a good minute 30 of just
like red.
And I saw the look in Chelsea and Hazel's eyes. And Chelsea was on the verge of tears. And I'm like, I have to stop this. This is a joke. And then I proceeded to compliment all of them and tell them that it was okay. We actually had a really good gig. But I thought it was pretty funny to play a prank on them every once in a while. You know.
Keep us on our toes.
Keep you on your toes. Keep you humble. And also, yeah, to get on you guys about setting up 10 minutes late. You guys deserve that one.
Oh, yeah.
You guys deserve that one. That one is that one.
Funny how last time we rehearsed, none of us were late.
Yeah, none of y'all were late. Yeah, none of y'all were there on time. Y'all were set up, ready to rock. But yeah, I see. But we got something that was productive. It scared them into. And
yeah,
I trust
Coulter
you.
almost never leaves our apartment for Gateway until like 5 minutes before. This Sunday, it was like
he was there
20 minutes till. He's like, "Hey, I'm about to leave for Gateway. You want to walk over?" And I was like, "Yeah, okay."
Okay. Yeah, no. I promise you guys, I'm not a terrible person. I just wanted to have a.
Promises you guys.
Yeah.
I live with him. I can't make any sense.
Shut up. You love me. I'm a really. I'd say I'm a pretty laid back guy in rehearsal.
Mm-hmm.
I usually don't have issues.
We could laugh about it now, but at the time we were all kind of
you guys were petrified. But like, I've never done anything like that before. Never went off. I don't think I've ever had a moment where I went off like that.
No.
I think I've had one moment where I went off like on Augie or Jacob, but that was about it. But that was a different context, different thing. But like, besides that, we have good rehearsals. We have fun. We have mimosas.
We do have mimosas.
We have mimosas. Or what are we going to
Virgin mimosas.
Virgin mimosas. To make that clear.
Yeah,
Gateway
virgin
Brass
mimosas.
does not support underage drinking. We follow the law. We are good children. Jesus.
Jesus.
WWJD.
Jesus said, amen.
Amen,
In
brother.
Jesus' name.
In Jesus' name. Amen. But yes, so, and that concludes what it means to be a musician to us. I, your host, and our co-host, Austin Chandler, wish you. I just do that just cause, but.
Don't forget about me.
And I was gonna say. Let me get. Can I do it? Are you gonna let me do what I need to do?
No.
But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, it's I, Nate Swift, your host, and Austin Chandler. I want to thank Jay Andersen for hopping on as our special guest tonight. Lead alto player for Gateway
Only
Brass.
alto player in Gateway Brass.
Well, your lead alto player sounds cooler.
Woo!
Yeah, lead alto player for Gateway Brass.
Next week we got Coulter, is it?
Coulter Bonorati.
Next week we got Coulter Bonorati.
And so we would like to thank you for watching the Happy International Gateway Brass Day. Do the comments. Whoever gets the comment right about how many times Jay complains about tenor sax.
I don't think I complained since I said.
I know you didn't, but we can still do the count. We still do the count. We'll give you something special. You got to guess it right though. But if you guess it right, we're gonna make sure you get a prize of some sort.
Instead of $15 and $5 shipping on the T-shirt, we're gonna make it $20 with no shipping.
Instead of making you pay $15 up front, we're gonna make you pay $10 for the shirt and then a $5 shipping.
Got it.
Yeah. Super simple. But yes, so if you can get that right, we're gonna get you something nice. But yeah, so tune in next week for our interview with Coulter, and until then, live out of pocket, baby. Woo.